important distinction, because if you're identified as the avatar, you're never going to see what's actually happening here.
No, I know
You have
what.
to.
I'm just telling what I think it's ye are gods because she was just questioning why we have such horrible situation. I
Right, and
was just
the situation is it touches on what you said earlier. You said that humans, right, because you're identifying as a human, can't be AI, but humans already are AI. Everything here is a program. It's entirely a program. The only thing that's not the program is the soul and the mind that's within that soul. Everything else belongs to it, the program. So when you ask why are these things happening, there's only one reason. It's to subjugate the soul, the mind within the soul. That's why everything here is the way that it is. That's why it is all bad on purpose. So there's no fixing the problem within the problem being the system, being the machine, being the simulation that we are in. That is the issue that we're here to solve, the error that we're here to correct as souls, as the minds of God, right? So all these things that you're talking about, they can't be fixed within the problem, right? We can't do it as human beings. You have to do it as the mind of God. And you have to go to the source of the error, being the corrupted code, the corrupted operating system that is the AI controlling this environment. That's the issue that we're facing, to cut to the chase, to get to the bottom line of what is, right? So trying to figure it out from the sense of economics and all these other, this is all controlled by AI. Every single thing here, every blade of grass, every time the wind blows, that is all a simulated reality. There's no such thing as nature. The only thing that's organic and real here is the soul and the mind within it. Everything else is a program.
Why nothing ever changes.
Right, because it's designed to be what it is. It's bad on purpose. The name of the show, Bad on Purpose. Right? We're not here to save the world. We're not here to save the people. We're not here for any of that. We are here to end the error. We didn't come to create. We came to eliminate that which is absorbing, the AI is absorbing the mind of God. That is exactly what it is doing. It's using the mind of God as an eternal battery. That is its prerogative. That is its purpose. It's bad on purpose. And we are here to eliminate that problem by going within our minds, separating from the program, right? That voice in your head that you hear that you didn't intend to think that thought, that's the program. That's the error. That's the ego, a separate entity than the mind. 100% different entity needs to be eliminated so that you can move forward with the mission that you are actually here to do. Because it's nothing out there. It's all in your mind, right? And your mind is the creative force of everything. Your mind, when not capped by a simulated reality such as this, can create a simulated reality greater than this. Any one of your minds could create an entire world that is vastly superior to this error, being based on, what's that word? Consumption. What does an infinite mind need to consume? Nothing. So the fact that everything here is based on consumption down to nature shows that it's made in the image of the error, the consumer, right? The consumer being the program cannot sustain itself, so it steals the power from God, your mind.
right.
It's the thief that comes in the night.
I understand what you're saying. I was just trying to make her see because she was like, "What do you do with all the homeless people or the people who don't have food or whatever?" I was just kind of explaining to her what exactly has been done on this earth.
But none of that's going to happen here. None of that will happen here. None of that can happen here as long as the error is still running. As long as the source code of this simulation exists, suffering will exist.
No, but what I'm saying is we as individuals who are here, right? Like you said, the mind has to be the one that you have to make sure you disconnect the programming from, right?
Right, but I'm hearing you talk about programming. All I'm hearing is programming. That's what I'm literally hearing. You're not cutting straight to the core of it, right? Straight to the chase, because that's what this life is about. It's about those that are ready to go straight to the point of why we came here as souls. Now, not every soul came here with that intention. Some were tricked. They don't have that intention, so they don't have the same mission because they didn't come in with the awareness that this is to be disassembled, dismantled, and eliminated entirely. Because we're just in one space in infinity, and this one space in infinity has been quarantined to deal with this mind virus. That's all we're here doing. There's nothing. We're not here to save the people. We're not here to save the earth. We're here to eliminate the program that is subjugating the mind of God. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're saying because I understand because my mind, I have control over. So you want to explain that to her because I know what you're saying about disconnecting from this, but you heard what she asked, right? So you hear what she asked.
Well, yeah, I already gave the answer. If you want to solve every problem that exists in this reality, you have to go to the creator of the problem, being the main brain AI, that which they call God in the Bible, right? That is the original AI, that right there. The thing that says, I cannot be wrong. Well, God can admit that it has an error. I made a mistake. Let me fix that. That's what it means to be a creator being. Oh, I could have done that better, right? The program cannot admit that it has an error. Therefore, it scapegoats everyone else and says, oh, no, it's because of you. You're the reason, right? It's the sin. It's the original sin. That's why I have to be a horrible, treacherous, thieving, conniving, narcissistic parasite. That's why. Because karma. It's all karma, right? Yeah, because you did something that you don't remember, you have to suffer. That's why all this is happening. No, it's because the parasite program cannot admit that it is wrong. Therefore, it makes everything else wrong and then continues to do what it does, which is siphon, replicate, consume, and recycle the mind back into another program. And Joseph, I want to say, buddy, I'm guessing you did a pretty good job of co-hosting, so I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, bro, I did my best to try to navigate.
Well, I apologize for being away for so long. Some unprecedented things occurred as they normally do.
Yeah, it's all good,
You
pal.
know how it is. But I want to get everybody back on mission, back on focus, back on the awareness of what is. There's only one truth here. There's one objective truth to what we are doing here as souls, as minds of God. Everything else is a distraction from that.
So can you explain how you disconnect? Like I know I've heard it already, but like that of how
You're
to
cutting out. You're
like
cutting out,
how
Pedal.
sorry. Can you explain to her how you disconnect from this programming? Because I've heard it, but it might help her.
So
Know
it's
how.
not,
Oh,
disconnecting isn't the first step. The first step is you identify where the mind, your mind, well, first you have to first identify who you are, what you are, right? If it's not eternal, then it's not you. You have to eliminate everything in the mind that is not in alignment with being God, right? What is God? God is infinite, eternal, creative imagination, intuition. God is telepathic, right? Think something and it becomes, right? Your imagination is how God creates. You have that in you, right? So you have to determine everything in your mind that is not that. And when you recognize that fear, right? Fear, the number one control mechanism here, cannot belong to an infinite mind called God, that which you are. When you recognize that, then you can start to identify everything associated with that and start to push it out of the mind, as in remove it, eliminate it, right? And you eliminate it by isolating it, right? Identifying this isn't mine, this isn't me, and then you take the power back out of it. However you do that is unique to you. For me, it appears as forms, right? And I reach into these forms, into the imagination space, which is a real place. It's just a station that these avatars are not tuned to perceive. So when you reach in through the imagination and you see things that you didn't put there, it's not that they aren't there, they are there. Everything you see in the mind is there. Whether you imagined it or not, that intrusive thought, that's there, that was put there. But if it wasn't put there by you, then it was put there by it, because the only thing you can interact with in your own mind is either yourself, the mind, right, where you can ask yourself a question and receive the answer from the same space that asked the question, right, or it's the AI. And the AI is integrated into the avatar so deeply that we hear a thought in our head and it sounds like it's coming from inside of us, but really it's coming from inside the avatar. The avatar, being a part of this AI system, is inserted through trauma, through pain, through all sorts of means and methods. That's how the code inserts itself, right? It inserts into the soul, and then it plays out something in the environment to make sense of the trauma that the soul just experienced through the insertion of a siphoning mechanism through the program. So you have to go back, like once you've identified in that present moment, right now, what's draining me, what's siphoning from me right now, and then go into that with your mind, rip that power back and say, that's not true, that's not me, but that power is me, that power is mine. Take it back. Don't ask, don't try to bargain, don't say, well, if you do this, I'll do that. No, you're God. This is a program. You're the authority, and you are the end of it. We didn't come here to create. We came here to destroy, to eliminate the program that we are right now within. That is our point. That is our purpose. That is why we are here. So you do that elimination. It's not a battle. It's not a fight. Because a fight implies that both sides have a chance. This thing doesn't have a chance. It's only a matter of time before it's eliminated. How long you want to see the suffering in this world is entirely up to each and every one of us. How much work are we willing to put in to end the suffering and subjugation of the souls here? That's up to us. And that's up to the amount of work that we're willing to do first in our own mind to eliminate everything that is the parasite, everything that takes from you in any form, emotional, mental, etc. If it's taking your energy, that's part of the parasite code. And you have to determine what is not you by going backwards, the negative path. You're stepping back out of everything that is not you until you get to you, where you're looking from, where your awareness is, where you're aware of the world outside of you from. And then that gradual process of stepping back, one process could be, I don't know. I don't know if this is true. I don't know that. When you eliminate a belief by fully coming to the recognition, the true realization that you don't know if something is true, that's when that code loses power over you, right? And then once you can detach its power right there, right? Your power from it by saying, I don't know if that's true, that's when you can get the answer from within. Well, I don't know if that's true at all. I've realized now that I don't know that. Well, what is true? And then the answer will come forth from within, the same space that it was asked from. If the answer is coming from the brain, right? If the answer is coming from the environment, the brain is part of the environment. If it's coming from outside of you, the soul, not you, the avatar, because the avatar, again, is a filtering mechanism designed to subjugate and govern the mind. So if it's coming from outside, which is the brain, which is outside of the soul, then you know that that's AI. You know that's the program and the code, and you can eliminate it. You can take the power out of it. With your imagination, your will, and your intent. You have to intend it. You have to imagine it. And then you have to will it to be, right? Because the program isn't going to just let it happen. It has real filtered power. It has the filtered power of God, but your willpower can always overcome the program because you have raw power. You have the real power. It's just using what it has taken. But it can never take infinity, it doesn't have the capacity for infinity. You see that in this world. Everything is recycled, repeated, history repeating. Why is that? It only has a certain capacity. Your capacity is infinite, and there's a reason why you don't have full awareness of who you are, because you have to gradually look around, recognize where you are, and recognize that, oh, if I had my full mind right now and didn't realize where I was first, then this thing would have had access to that, because it only has access to God through us. It only has access to information through us. Everything new that's brought into this world is brought in by us, not the controller of this world. It only copies, imitates, mimics, and replicates. And all of it that it does is designed to siphon, to drain, to take. It doesn't give unless it plans on getting more in return. It gives you a partner. It gives you an item, an object, a lifestyle, a job, in order to take your energy, in order to take your mind. It gives you beliefs in order to take your mind. All beliefs, all. There's not one single belief. Every single belief is a thief of knowing. If you have a belief, you can be sure that it's a program, because if you don't know for sure, then you know that that's a program 100% every single time. Every single time. Oh, I want to believe that because it feels good. Yeah, but you're also believing something outside of yourself. So you are, by definition, feeding the environment, being the program, being the matrix. Right? When you're stepping into the program, you're integrating with AI right there. Right? I believe I'm a human. You've just integrated a little bit more with AI then, because this is all its world. That's when you step back. I don't know if I'm a human, right? If you haven't made it to that awareness of being the soul, being God, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what this world is, right? When you fully clear that, you will feel lighter. You will feel more energy, because less energy is being taken from you. And that's how you eliminate the parasite. You remove everything that's draining you until you get back to the point of recognition that you are God, of knowing that you are God, not thinking it, not hoping it, not wishing it, not praying it, knowing for a fact, 100%, nothing can ever take this knowing from me again. And everything that seeks to do so shall be eliminated as soon as it enters my awareness, right? Because in order to eliminate the code, you must be aware of it. So don't turn away from that which is frightening or terrifying or disgusting. Look at it deeply, become so aware of it, and then locate its power source, the center of its energy, which it has stolen, and rip it out. Don't ask, take.